That's why she gonna be single for the rest of her fucking life. No, I ain't gonna say that. It sucks though, cause she's cute. She got a fucking good head on her shoulders and shit. But, bro, you a fucking a millionaire. You got money. You got
me.
I'm just saying, typically anybody, a dude who has options, as attractive as she is, would you sign up to be with somebody like that, your significant other, with the mind state that she has?
I personally wouldn't, especially with I wouldn't. She doesn't seem like she's providing peace of mind.
Nah, it'll be so much friction in the house, bro.
Yeah.
Just want peace and some food and a massage and some cheeks and some dick suck every now and again.
Chill out, nigga. Go crazy. Is literally the most important decision you ever make and the hardest decision.
Facts.
Every other decision I made in life has been easy.
And think about how many times that decision is made incorrectly. The majority of the time.
Yeah.
Why are men so intimidated by the idea of coming home to a independent woman?
We're not intimidated. It's
I
a
would
headache.
think that an independent woman, like independence, is an attractive quality.
No.
How would you define independence?
How do you feel about what the fuck you just said? Why are men intimidated by coming home to an independent woman?
I think everybody likes to feel like they're needed. But I think just natural as a human, like you want to feel like someone needs you. If they're throwing it in your face, oh, I don't need you, I don't know, you're not gonna feel good.
Yeah. What she said really doesn't make any sense because if you're an independent woman, then you're not in a relationship.
Facts.
How can you be an independent woman when you're with somebody? Why would I want to come home to an independent woman?
Yeah.
Quality.
No.
How would you define independence?
I mean, in simple terms, a woman who doesn't need a man but wants a man and wants to be also. I mean, I can provide in my own ways, and the man will provide in his own ways. However that dynamic works, it'll work.
Okay, so you said a woman who doesn't need a man but wants a man.
Yeah.
So
Trust
like,
me, yo.
what do you mean by like? I'm trying to understand what do you mean by not.
I mean, I'm not a child. I don't need a parent. You know, I want to be in a partnership. I want somebody who will, if I'm younger than him, for example, I want him to strive to raise me to his level. Just like I feel like a top tier men are drawn to people who they want to be their peers eventually. They like lifting people up, and I think that in a relationship it should be the same.
Well, I think for me, I think you're viewing it like as a woman. I think it's hard to view it as a man. I think it's a reality thing because there's certain things that you value that men wouldn't value. So, for example, if let's say you made $200,000 a year, right, and your man made $50,000 a year, you would eventually want him to get there. Is that fair to say, ladies?
Absolutely.
And if he was lazy and he didn't want to get there, he wanted to stay at 50,000, would that be a turnoff? If he didn't want to get better?
Yeah, it's not about laziness. Here's another example. If I wanted to study something and I knew that I wouldn't be able to work for the next 8 years, medical school, for example, then if my man is willing to support me, I want him to eventually be happy with my success.
Yeah. So let me finish my example, and I want to answer your question. So the point is that you guys want a man to get on your level. So guys, if a woman was making $50,000 and you're making $200,000, do you want her to make $200,000? Is that a priority for you guys?
No.
Not a priority.
So you see, guys, they don't view it that way. They like you gotta think about it. Men are conditioned to protect and provide for thousands of years. So men are not looking for a teammate who can do what they do. You know, like it's like the best way I can break it
But
down
it's not about doing. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah.
I apologize. But it's not about doing what they do. It's about doing me and being supported and
So
supported emotionally and.
Here's a problem. A man with options can choose, and unfortunately, you're the worst option. No disrespect. No disrespect, because here's the reality. There's two guys, right? There's a guy that makes $500,000. All things are equal. They're both handsome. They're both tall. They're both successful in their own sense, right? One is a successful teacher making $50,000. One is a successful doctor making $500,000. Which one is more attractive?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I blinked out a second ago.
Okay, cool. So
My-
there's
my
two
brain
there's
went
there's
la la
two
land.
guys and everything is equal. Okay. One of them makes 50,000.
Uh-huh.
One of them makes 500,000. Which one is more attractive? Everything is equal.
Yeah.
It's okay to say the truth.
I know.
It's okay to
I
say
find-
the truth, right?
Listen.
The feminism
obviously-
in her won't allow
No.
it.
I'll answer honestly.
She's
I want an
talking.
equal partner.
I'm just as mesmerized by fancy, shiny things as any other person is. I find that sometimes men who have a lot
No.
become entitled.
No.
Listen.
Okay.
I just said
You know, if two girls were completely equal, I don't care how much money it is, but I mean, it's okay for her to say she wants to do with 500,000. Like, I understand. You know.
Bro, how would you feel about that? Somebody asked you got two bitches,
Yeah.
everything equal. One makes 500,000, one makes 50,000.
If everything's equal, they look exactly the same.
They make you feel the same, and
I mean, I would choose the one with 500,000.
well,
Well, I mean, wouldn't anybody? If they're exactly the same?
bro,
Yeah. Like, that's the wrong question to ask because you value that more. No, anyone with any common sense, like, if my, if two people are the exact same, like, it would just, you would choose the person with. That's a hard way to ask that question, like.
I feel like it needs more context.
Yeah, it
because-
needs more context.
Because, say, one makes 50,000, one makes 500,000. Am I making 500,000?
Yeah, I guess you gotta add that
So
context.
if I'm making 100,000 and she making 500,000, I don't know if I can sign up for that
Yeah,
because she got all the power.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna put me in the position,
that's tough.
and I don't know, and especially how I know now, like a woman got to respect you to fucking be what you need her to be.
Facts.
And if she feel like she's providing more or she can provide more,
Everything, it's gonna be hell in that house for sure.
yeah, like she gonna, all right, motherfucker, I pay this, I pay that, I pay.
Yeah.
And like lifestyle, like she used to all these fucking things and I can't afford the things she's accustomed to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then if in reverse, if it's a woman and she makes 100,000 and dude makes 500,000, she prefers it to be that way.
Facts.
She's not gonna be with somebody that makes less than her. A dude is okay with being with
Someone who makes less than them. Yeah.
yeah. So that's more of the point he's trying
Yeah.
to.
Agreed.
you that more. So what you got to understand is women who think independence, you like that in men.
Yeah.
A man being independent, a man not needing you, a man to be able to take care of his stuff on his own. That's what you value in men. Men don't want that in women. Because the reality of the matter is when a woman is really turned on by a man, when a woman is really in love with a man, when she really respects him, she becomes utterly dependent upon him because she does not want him to leave.
So here's what I don't like. My biggest fear is to lose my independence and to rely on somebody else.
And know where that comes from? Where does that come from?
I don't know. I mean, I've been independent since I was 18, and I think it's a very important thing to
I know,
me.
but where does that fear come from?
I don't know. I don't want to rely on anyone. I wasn't brought up to rely on anyone, and I don't think
Exactly. That came. So what happened in childhood? Either your experience showed you, or somebody communicated that to you. Because you're talking about, I have a fear. You can't live your life according to fear. Imagine me saying, I have a fear of crashing on a plane. I can never get on the plane.
Damn.
So your whole relationship movement is
Right.
based upon a fear. That's unhealthy. And so what I've noticed is a lot of women, when they move in a relationship, it's based out of fear. You can't live your life based upon fear.
I think it's unhealthy to put yourself in situations where you could potentially be left with nothing.
But that's the mindset.
That's the fear.
You see how you're living your life? You're living.
Like, and you know me, I'm all for like the fucking, I'm a man's man. You know what I mean? But like, I don't think like, I'm not gonna tell my daughter to move like that.
Like what?
Like, I'm gonna tell my daughter, listen, you need to be independent, be able to take care of yourself until a man comes along, and the right dude who's a real man will be able to communicate to you that like, yo, it's different now. It's like you were telling me how like you communicated and boom, 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 showed her and boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, the dudes like you can't just tell women to walk around like
Facts.
because I'm not gonna tell my daughter that.
Facts.
Like well, you just gotta like whatever dude comes, you just gotta like be nah. I'm gonna tell her to be independent. The right dude, the right man's gonna be able to like put you in your place and show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what I don't like. Like I feel like that's almost like a like we can't just like we can't expect women to walk around just like I'm not independent.
I totally agree with you, especially nowadays, because the majority of men are not prepared to be in a relationship for real with a woman.
Yeah.
They're going to take advantage of her. So women have to have their guard up.
Yeah.
But I think the driving force is, or I think what a woman needs to do better at is knowing when to let that guard down and to let them know that it's okay to let that guard down. Because I think that a lot of times a woman will be in a relationship with somebody who's prepared to provide them what they want. But if that woman makes it hard for this man to even get through this mess that she got up, then what's the point when I got all these other options and I ain't got to worry about dealing with that with you?
Yeah.
So it's
a tough game to play. I feel like they're making it sound too like it should be easy.
It's not cut and dry.
Yeah, it's not that easy. Just like I'm just gonna walk around and not like. I wouldn't say it's out of fear. It's about life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
But then, like with even her circumstance, what she was saying, she was like, if a man gonna pay for me to go to school and this, that, and the third, like if you gotten this far in a relationship with somebody where he's taking it upon himself to provide you this luxury of going to school on his dime, then y'all have come to a certain stage in y'all's relationship where communication should be, easily understood between both of y'all. Like on initial encounters with somebody that you don't fucking know, this all would make sense.
Yeah.
But if somebody you rock with, enough.
Yeah.
It's like if she has this energy, I don't want to be totally relying upon the man or whatever. Like if you found the man that's supposed to be that man for you, then what's wrong with you being reliant upon him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then how many men are prepared to be relied on by women? Or the women that they want? It's a tough situation.
Yeah, it's a tug and pull. It's a tug and pull.
Yeah.
But I definitely understand like a woman keeping her guard up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how I answer questions in my brain when it comes to women shit. I'm just like,
what would I tell my daughter? Yeah. You can't just gonna be submissive to everybody. Fuck no.
Fuck
no.
Hell no.
You have to be able to distinguish. It's a fucked up situation.
Yeah.
It's fucked up because we both men. The majority of men. Well, I don't.
Like you can't tell me this dude would say this shit to his daughter.
Yeah, exactly. But I hesitate saying that because the majority of men nowadays, this newer generation of men, they're different. They're different than you and me. Like they're in this whole different space where like I saw some stat the other day and it said like the majority of men between the ages of like 18 and I don't know what the fuck it was, like 30 or something, like 33% of that age group is virgins. They don't have experience with women. They want experience with women. Like this dog mentality. You know how before it was like, hey man, men ain't shit. They out here just to fuck everybody and do this, that, and the third. Like that type of man is like slowly fading away. Yeah. Because women are the ones more progressive and the ones getting more money and getting more confidence and fucking who they want to fuck, and the dudes is getting left behind. So like it's like a new transition into how society is going to move on from here. So like if I was to tell my daughter now, if I had a daughter now, I would try to prepare her as much as I can for being the right woman for the man that she wants. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like have your guard up, but I wouldn't even show her. I would show her through how I am with my girl.
Yeah. Thanks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Show by example.
Where you could potentially be left with nothing.
But that's the mindset.
That's the fear.
You see,
that's hard though. I don't want to be in a position where I'll potentially be left with nothing. You can't go in that. If that's the mind state, bro, like why would dudes ever get married?
Yeah, because we lose a lot.
Everything. And with that mind state, how often are women left with nothing with how society is today? Well, typically the man gonna make more. Well, I don't know now, but the court system, the marital system, always work in the woman's favor. Facts. So what she's saying doesn't take place the amount of how she's describing it does. Like, you ain't about to be left with nothing. Come on, man.
And I mean, that probably plays a role as to women want men who make more money.
Yeah.
You know, subconsciously, it's like, well, you know, if this shit doesn't work out after we get married, well, at least I have something.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're dating a man, like I said, who makes like, you know what's crazy? Because it's like, that's how men are in 90% of the situations.
Yeah.
Because we make more. So we're taking that risk if we get married. We're losing half of
But
this
do we
shit.
think about it the way she described it?
No.
Nah.
Fear she's describing
Doesn't
is a
have-
fear that we
Yeah,
deal with
yeah.
on a daily basis as to
Yes.
marry if we're making more than
Yeah,
someone.
yeah.
We deal with that all the
Yeah.
time.
And if we voice that, how are we gonna be viewed?
Yeah, right? We
Look
say
at
we
us.
want a prenup.
Ah.
So she's describing almost the fears of
She's
man
talking
deals
like
with.
a man. She's talking like a man.
Yeah.
And that's not. We just talked about that. That's not type of fucking woman that a man gonna want to be with.
Wow.
She's talking from a male's perspective.
Wow.
You could potentially be left with
But,
nothing.
but that's the mindset.
That's the fear.
You see how you're living your life? You're living your life worst case scenario thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine me saying, I don't want to start a business because if I open a business, I can lose all my money. Because that's a risk of starting a business. You can put all your time, energy, effort, and money and research into a business and lose it all.
And then the business
So what?
I don't even feel like that compares to a relationship. The analogy you made there, because relationships, y'all have built some confidence with each other.
Yeah,
That
rapport.
we built enough with each other where, all right, if we take this next step, I could assume if we stay how we are right now, we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Business, it's a crapshoot. You don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You just betting on yourself that I can pull this through. But the majority of businesses, they fucking fail. Just like the majority of marriages fail. But
Yeah.
but with me saying that, you should have more confidence in the person that you're gonna be with long term to be thinking the way she's thinking. Where, you know, worst case scenario, if this don't work, I'm gonna lose everything. You should know enough about your man that
Yeah, at that point, exactly. You should, yeah.
you think he gonna leave you with nothing.
You can put all your time, energy, effort, and money and research into a business and lose it all. So what happens is a lot of women have seen either from divorces in their family, either from their mom whining, complaining, or they've seen a woman being in an unhealthy situation, and now their fear is the worst case possible
So
scenario.
here's another worst case possible scenario.
But do you not see how living like that is a problem?
I do
She ain't hear nothing he just said.
Yeah.
She's just ready to attack.
Here's another worst case possible scenario.
But do you not see how living like that is a problem?
Sometimes with like even some girls I've talked to in the past, like I already know that like it's like damn, like you was just the whole time I was talking, you was just thinking of what you was about to say.
Yeah, they're not listening. They're listening to respond. They're not listening to goddamn understand situations. But
I think that's what played to me a lot of just like I just be shutting down and like I don't even want to argue. I just be going to sleep. You know?
yeah, bro, I spilled the tequila all on my shit. Look at that. That's all tequila, bro.
So here's another worst case possible scenario.
But do you not see how living like that is a problem?
I do understand. I completely agree, but I do think that there's a place for responsibility. And women in relationships, because there is a power dynamic, oftentimes can be put in situations where they can't get out.
So here's a problem.
What?
You said oftentimes.
But how can they not get out?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more like an abusive
Yeah.
where the fear comes in. That might be.
And how often does that take place compared to relationships ending? Do most relationships end in abusive situations?
Probably not.
Nah, it's like she's literally using the worst case scenarios
Yeah.
to define how she moves. She's never gonna fucking find herself in the best position. She got to be open minded, willing to take risks. When you're in a relationship, you gotta take a risk.
Yeah, it's a risk. Man.
It's vulnerable. You gotta be vulnerable. You gotta be willing to accept the good with the bad. There's no foolproof plan. You're trying to take the approach of, all right, if I take this step with this man, I gotta make sure if shit don't fucking work out, I'm good in the end.
Right.
You can't do
You're
that
not looking
because
at
you're
it
never gonna be all the way in it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's like I think it just comes with her understanding that the risk is on not just your end; it's on both ends.
Both.
Because 90% of the time, you want someone more successful than
Yes,
you.
yeah.
In business terms, his risk is more than
Yeah,
yours.
bro. Yeah, exactly.
If you want someone more successful.
Exactly. Hit the nail on the head.
Where they can't get out.
So here's a problem. You
take
said
a risk.
oftentimes. That is your personal experience.
It's not my personal experience. I mean, all of my relationships have ended amicably, and I
So where's
respect
she
all of
getting
my
that
exes.
information
I've
from?
never been abused, thank God.
So why
I've
she
never had
bringing
any
it
like
up?
negative situation like that where I relied on someone. Never.
So let me tell you why this is your personal experience. Because when it comes to divorce, If you can look it up right now, we have all the data.
He should have asked her if all your relationships ended amicably, and you've never been in an abusive relationship. Then why are you thinking about these worst case scenarios based on your own experience? Why are you acting like that?
Yeah.
Experience, because when it comes to divorce, if you can look it up right now, we have all the data. Women divorce men at higher rates than men divorce women. 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. We have Google right now. We can go ahead and pull it up. So the reality of women being left by men is a misnomer. It is feminine mythology.
I'm not talking about. My concern is not being left by a man. My concern is jumping head on into a relationship where I'm feeling like I'm being supported and helped. Eventually, losing my independence because I'm relying on him. I don't need to work if somebody's paying my rent.
What does that mean?
So I'm explaining. Wait, I lost my train of thought.
That's on her.
What did you say a second ago?
What I said is that
women are not leaving men.
Your fear. You literally said the fear.
Oh, okay. I remember what I was talking about. Okay, my fear isn't that I won't be able to. My fear isn't that my man will leave me. My fear is that I won't be able to leave because I'll be put in a situation where I can't leave.
Okay, so fear is based.
She's talking all over the place because she just said they.
I guess when she says like.
She's just trying to She's trying to debate. She's trying to fight.
So when she says, I fear that she won't be able to leave, she means that if she lets someone fully financially support her and she doesn't maintain her independence,
she won't be able to leave.
If it does end, she'll have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So I understand the fear of that. That's a scary thought.
Yeah. Because you are literally totally relying on this person. But
here's the thing. I don't think a woman should like. My mom's always been working hard. The average household needs both people.
Yes. The type of shit she's talking about does not exist.
Yeah.
No more, unless this motherfucker's a millionaire.
That's what I think the problem is, that her ideal man is that fucking billionaire.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like, well, I'm not going to have to work. So, but like the most households, the woman is working.
Requires two incomes.
My mom worked, my dad so you're not.
So what's she talking about?
Yeah. So like you said, you're thinking about that. And
then, bro, even with what she's saying, like, even if, say for instance, they're not together, she's with a fucking millionaire and he's taking care of everything, and then they break up. There's policies and regulations set in place to still assist her in that regard, like common law. You ain't got to be married. Yeah. If she's relying upon you, if she's living with you, you taking care of her mortgage, taking care of her bills, you feeding her, education and shit. You ain't got married. It's common law. The state or whoever you in, not all of them, but a lot of states will look at this relationship. Y'all are fucking married, and if she splits and she can no longer support herself because of the situation, living arrangements y'all in, you have to provide for her until she's able to get on her feet.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, but I don't think men are trying to get women to stop working and not being able to support themselves.
That's the fucking world she living in where. The man wants
Where's
to
this
care
place? Where's this shot? This is shot in
Miami.
That's the thing. Motherfuckers in Miami and LA. That's not the real world, bro.
So, but you know what's not the real world either is fucking social media.
Yeah.
That's not the real world.
Yeah. So that's why it's not really resonating with me, because I'm just like, where does this happen? Like, why wouldn't you? You don't need to be. You're gonna have a job.
Yeah. What you gonna be doing all day?
Yeah.
Just going to school all day?
Yeah.
You better be fucking cooking, cleaning.
But as soon as you said Miami, I'm like, because I know I've never even been to Miami personally, but I heard out there it's just picking season, trying to get the big balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like All-Star Weekend every fucking weekend.
Yeah, wild.
Put in a situation where I can't leave.
Okay, so that fear is based upon a worst case scenario. You're living your life on a worst case scenario. If you take that energy into business, you'll never be successful.
But
if you
relationships...
let me finish. If you take that energy into finances, you'll never have any money. If you take that energy into friendship, you'll never have any friends. Mm-hmm. So what happens is that if you're living your life based upon a scenario that a fearful thing can happen, that's on you. But the wise thing to be is to be like, okay, that's a possibility. So how can I, as a woman, find the right kind of man who will support me and help me not make that happen? There's no way possible you're going to find a guy where 100% of the time he will never do anything wrong.
So
life is a risk. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
She ain't even,
number one, I do think that...
Bro, that pisses me off. How was she able to process everything he said?
Yeah.
and come back with a response so quickly. She heard half of what the fuck he said, a quarter of what the fuck he said, wanted to respond to that.
And was
Just,
formulating.
yeah. She's not listening to do anything productive. She's just there to argue.
So
Life
may I
is a
respond?
risk. Go
It
ahead.
is.
Thank you so much. Number one, I do think that being a woman in the world, you do have to live not in fear. Maybe fear is the wrong word to use, but you do have to be very, very conscious and cautious of all the dangers around you.
Just like
And
men.
relationships can turn dangerous at a certain point. That's number one. I'm not saying I'm living out of fear. Not at all.
Dangerous
Every
how?
relationship that I've
What
been
does
in.
that mean, though? You just said relationships can turn dangerous at a certain point. You know what's very fascinating about this? What you just shared.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by dangerous? You mean domestic violence?
Also,
Okay, so let's talk about domestic
Also,
violence. You know what's
so-
fascinating?
mhm.
Do you know domestic violence in lesbian couples are the highest of all couples?
I mean, I'm not. Whether it's lesbians
See,
or
he's
straights or
fucking-
anything,
he's
it
fucking
doesn't
up.
matter.
Yeah,
Being
so-
in a relationship or
He's
you're
fucking up. He should have just said that shit never fucking happens. It rarely happens
not- it's
compared
not
to
the norm.
it's not the norm.
Yeah.
Relationships do not typically end because of domestic violence.
Physical abuse.
And
Obviously, it's out there. You know.
it's like everything's out there.
Yeah, facts.
Bestiality is out there. Fucking
Motherfuckers
pedophilia is out there. I shouldn't say that. Everything is out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen as much as she's making it seem. Oh shit! Like that's gonna keep her from getting a relationship.
Yeah.
That's why she's gonna be single for the rest of her fucking life. No, I ain't gonna say that. It sucks though, cause she's cute. She got a fucking good head on her shoulders and shit. But like, if you a fucking a millionaire, you got money, you
Who,
got
me?
I'm just saying, typically anybody, a dude who has options, as attractive as she is, would you sign up to be with somebody like that, your significant other, with the mind state that she has?
I personally wouldn't, especially with I wouldn't. She doesn't seem like she's providing peace of mind.
Nah, it'll be so much friction in the house, bro.
Yeah.
Just want peace and some food and a massage and some cheeks and some dick suck every now and again.
chill out, Go crazy.
relying 100% where you're codependent is unhealthy,
That doesn't
in my
happen.
opinion.
Codependent.
Respectfully.
That happens
See,
fucking
this is what happens when you create straw
5%
men.
of the
When you
time.
make an extreme. So on one end of the extreme is codependency, where I have nothing without you. Another end of the extreme is where you're probably at, independency. I am without
You
you.
need to be
But
in the
the
middle.
healthy medium is interdependency, is that I could exist without you, but I not only want you, but I need you.
So can I say,
Let me finish.
Bars.
Because I'm be honest with you,
Bars.
right now, the energy that you're on is masculine energy.
oh God, no.
No, why? Because
Oh, no.
you're comfortable. And this is the problem. You're comfortable with having to usurp your way. So a lot of times there's no when there's a relationship, when women say they want equality, there's no equality. There's no two kings in one castle. There's no two presidents in one country. There's no two CEOs of one company. There's always a leader and somebody submits to your leadership. You want to be in charge.
I don't. I absolutely don't. I will say my dating style, I love a man who will support me, lift
But
me
that-
up, help me. But at the same time, I'm not going to relinquish all of my power.
I understand it, but what I'm saying is that what you're communicating is
That
an
makes no
idea.
sense.
Talk to me.
That makes no sense. I want someone to fucking, be there for me, support me, help me up, but then I don't want to relinquish all of my power. What does her relinquishing her power even fucking mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I was like, what are the powers you're talking about?
What are you talking about? I
These
mean,
powers.
on the literal sense of things, how you explained it, you have no power if this motherfucker is supporting you. So what power is there to
Yeah,
relinquish?
what powers are you talking about?
But if you are with the man you're supposed to be with, he's helping you because he wants to see you do better to help you get power.
Yeah.
So he's in support of the power that you have. So he's giving you something to potentially relinquish. So why would he force you to relinquish it with him? Like, it makes no sense. It's just she's
Yeah, she would have to just tell us what the power. What is this proverbial power you speak of?
Yeah, she's just. It's all coming from a fucking emotion or some shit. Like she's just manifesting some shit that ain't there. If you got a motherfucker that's rocking with you, if you got to do it, paying for your education, paying
Your rent.
and he's not a simp. Like, he really.
He's
fuck
not
with
a
you.
simp. We just
Like, he's not. He fuck with
he
you.
fucks with you because he believes you got his back.
Yeah. Why?
Shit, I can
You
relate.
shouldn't even be thinking about this.
Yeah.
And then there's still potential that it may happen because that's being vulnerable in a relationship. Shit may not work.
Yeah.
But
Like, he's not helping you with your shit for fun.
yeah.
He wants to.
there's no backup plan for that though. Like if shit don't work, shit don't work. We're gonna figure it out, and hopefully
Yeah.
you with a man that's not gonna want to see you, you know, in the gutter somewhere. But
Yeah.
even if he,
depending on how that relationship ends.
but even if
now if you cheat on him,
yep. But even if two things. Even if she does, metaphorically go in the gutter, policies are set in place to prevent that from fucking happening. But cheating on someone, right? Common law situation. Not even married. If the woman fucking cheats on the man, she leaves. They broken up now. Common law will require that man to provide for
Still
this
provide.
woman because she
yeah.
is dependent upon him, even though she's the reason why shit ain't working no more.